Hey, how's it going? My name is James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. This is the Bald and Short of It podcast. Welcome to our journey of self discovery and loathing, hatred, and everything in between. Yes, we are a show, folks. I don't know why. And, some days I question my life choices, but for some reason, Mooney is one of those life choices.
Wow, I'm kind of proud. Like I'm a life choice. Like you've chosen me for your life.
I've
Are we a
chosen
couple?
No, I've chosen loathing and hatred, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I've chosen. That's what you
I just,
symbolize in my life.
I love the life choice. You know what, Jimmy?
Yes,
I've made a life choice too, and you're part of it.
I'm only a part of it because I'm half your social life. Um,
Yeah, most people are my whole social life.
but yes, we had a lot of stuff go on this week.
Yeah, we sure did.
There's a lot of political stuff. We got to talk about that community all star slow pitch challenge.
Little
Uh,
recap.
do a little recap, and again, life choices.
Yeah,
But
so like I don't know, how was your week, buddy? We got to spend a little time together this week, more than usual, which was fun.
yeah, I guess it was fun. I took you out for your birthday on the Thursday, right?
Yeah, that
Was
was
that
really
Thursday?
nice of you. Yeah, we had the
We
walkthrough at
had
the
we had
park.
to walk through at the park. I love that ball field. It's
Me
such a
too.
cool ball
And
field.
it's a really neat thing when it's just you and handful of people and you can walk around the whole thing. Like I didn't have the balls to like I could see the dugout, but I didn't have the balls to go into the locker room. Like I thought that's like a bridge too far. Somebody invites you in their house, you don't go in the bedroom. But other than that, yeah, I saw everything, and we have a beautiful ballpark, and yeah, it's great. And then um, my podcast partner and the individual with whom I make life choices, Jimmy,
I
Jimmy,
thought you were just
Jimmy,
gonna call me one of your life partners. I would have
Jimmy,
punched you through the computer. Um,
Jimmy took me for a very was kind enough to take me for a drink at Canadian Brew House, which also gave me free nachos because it was my birthday. And then
and I paid for the chicken.
you did so, yeah. And then when the bill came, you were kind enough to take care of it, and then you still had half a beer left, and you know how we do that. It's like, oh, I can get one down me before he's done. So I went and just to the bar to order one, and they gave me a free drink because it was my birthday. So I gave the guy like $5 anyway. But that was
Uh,
that was really nice of you, Jimmy, and I really enjoyed that.
then you and I um killed a bottle of wild turkey with only leaving a heel left. Um,
Yeah. Oh,
which, speaking of wild turkey, all about men brought to you by Wild Turkey. What's left of that wild turkey is in the All About Men showcase. Um,
speaking of heels, I got a heel of Angel's Envy left, and it's a little friend of the podcast, Marco gave that to me. I've been holding on to that heel, and then I'll that's my what is it, a moose bouche before I crush the champagne of Tennessee whiskeys,
yes,
which is
so
kind of a heel
that
too. Like you know how it is.
yeah,
When you have the really good stuff, you want to hold on to it, or at least have a little bit left to suckle on, right?
yeah, I've still got most of that McKellen that
Oh, good.
we
Yeah,
cracked that I still have that to bring on the
good.
podcast. And hey, speaking of that, I'm just going to touch on this quickly. For the next 2 weeks, I'm not actually going to be living in my own house. For the next 2 weeks, I'm actually going to be staying at my cousin's place, just for a couple weeks, just see st- stuff. But whatever, I'm going to be doing the podcast live from the Winterburn Trailer Park.
So hang on a minute. Are you both staying at her house, or
Yes,
I can't wait for the 2 week recap of that.
it's okay. I didn't really want to get into it too much on this, but
Okay, well that's okay. But like I'm just saying,
we're doing a test on seeing whether or not we can live together for with like we were talking about she's got an extra room, so I can get rid of this place and we can share a place. But we need to do a 2 week test to see whether or not we kill each other. Um,
Well, I just and this is the absolute first I've heard of it. So first impressions. Uh, I love your cousin. She's the best. And like you and I tried to do sleepover for like a weekend, and it lasted 12 hours.
but that was
Like,
but that was also on Dwarfism Awareness Weekend.
yeah, you probably had a lot of things to attend to, a
Yeah,
lot of events.
one of which it wasn't Dwarfism Awareness Weekend, and you just kept stopping. We need to bring awareness to little people. Show respect as you're being a
I
dick.
thought it was a really nice gesture, but
It was, and then you got all our friends to turn on me, and it
no, like
was.
we all just had we all did a brief little description of what it meant to us and how important it was to be part of be peripheral to the dwarf community. So
But
I
but
thought it
then
was nice,
then I
but
had
whatever.
but then I had to watch a 6-hour documentary on yacht rock. Um,
You didn't have to. You were just too polite to, and I knew you would be. So I subjected you
it
to
I
it.
don't think it was 6 hours, but it sure
No,
the
it
hell
felt
felt
like
like
it.
six
Yeah.
hours. Um,
Okay.
but
My other first initial reaction out of the two, my second one is that's a commute, man.
not that much. It's just a
Okay.
little bit like it's like from my house there in an Uber's $13. So, but then the bus we've already figured out a route. So that's it's all part of the test. That's why it's to see whether or not it makes sense for me to add, go from the west end to way west. So it's like it's all an experiment upon experiments,
Well,
and
I can't wait for you to check in and let me know how that's going.
I'm going to be
And
doing the
I
podcast live, so you're going to be seeing some of it. But my
great.
favorite part of doing that is my two favorite people in the world are her dogs.
Oh,
Um,
what?
much better. I actually love them. I tolerate you
Oh, well, thank you.
most days.
Thanks. um, okay, so getting back on track, uh, Friday was my birthday, and I'm not the guy that we've talked about this that goes, "Hey, it's my birthday, come out and have a drink." But holy cow, Andrea just put on a show for me with at Sherbrooke. She invited everybody to come, and first thing happens, we come in, and the whole booth is set up with like birthday stuff and baseball and happy birthday and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
around the
she went
table
all
and
out, and your parents were
balloons, shit
there.
on the wall, and then balloons on the wall, and then the little things around the table like ribbons that said Major League Baseball, and then there was a cake, and it was just stuffed with, I think there was like my age in Blue Jays logos stuck around the cake. It was phenomenal.
There's
But
106 of them,
haha, but no, but most importantly, so many of my friends came out. I couldn't believe it, and I had a
and
wonderful
I was
night.
there too.
Yeah, yeah, Janet was as always a wonderful hostess, and I think everybody had a good time. Yeah, my folks came. I mean, it was just fantastic. And then people were like kind enough to give me gifts, even though I said no.
And
So
your
I got
kids
some.
came,
Yeah,
and
yeah, no, it was great, man. I had a lovely time, but I wanted to do a brief segue about that because, like, Andrew was on Facebook today, and she pointed something out to me that she saw. It was like a post by Sherbrooke that said open mic or open mic night with a jam band and a house band and all that. And then it said hosted by Jimmy. Do you know anything about that? Is there another Jimmy out there that we don't know about, or you don't know anything about it? Okay, that's it's probably
I
not
I
you.
I hope I hope I didn't agree to something when I was drunk.
That could be what happened because it's
I
now
hope
public
not.
that I think it's Saturday night. So
I don't know about it, so I'm not sure if it's me.
you're
Um,
gonna you're gonna have to get the Clydesdales hooked up to sled you out to Sherbrooke from the hinterlands maybe every Saturday. Actually, though, if it was you and if it was something
she
it was
would she
something
would
that you don't remember agreeing to, and you like, I still think that would be an awesome fit.
oh, it would, but
And you know what? If you're hosting it, I would come and play. So that would, that place would be packed. After I agreed to play, of course. But
yeah. Uh, and then you'd show up and everybody would leave. But
yeah. Anyway, I guess my week was your week, unless you had anything to add before Saturday, because we could.
yeah, I really didn't have much throughout the week other than work and the baseball, and I
Yeah,
really want to talk about that because that was a learning curve, and
that's what
before
happened Saturday. Anyway,
yes, that's what
for
happened
our audience.
Saturday. Was the community all-star slow pitch challenge,
Yep.
the most awkward name on the planet.
Yeah.
um but it was good. So it was a half decent turnout. There was about like we were hoping for more, but it was also on an Edmonton Elks a game day where the Elks actually started at the same time as our event.
Yeah. Like
So
I got home at 4:30, and I PVR'd the Elks and the Blue Jays. So when I got home, I had like 6 hours of sports to watch. That happened while we were doing the All Star Challenge. So yeah, those were things that were competing for eyeballs during that
yeah,
event. Anyway, yeah,
but I learned a few things um as the umpire of that event.
yeah. Let's do your takeaways and then my takeaways and then
But as the umpire, I guess it's not appropriate to handcuff someone and drag them off the field if they steal a base. Um,
I was
I don't know why. You were on my case. I had the All Stars on my case, and it wasn't even them. It was them. I was dragging off the. They
yeah.
were yelling at me. I had Daintree Christensen and Britt Pendergast from they're both from Global. They were on the celebrity team. They were yelling. Oh, they were mad at me throughout the game. They didn't like
Actually,
any of
yeah.
my calls.
If you
They
don't mind
didn't
me
like that one.
interjecting,
They no, but they did. I just want to say they
yeah.
didn't like the one call that you helped me make because I wasn't paying attention of calling that one that it was fair. It was a fair ball when they said it was a strike. Um,
Oh,
that
yeah,
one
well,
that
it hit the bat.
caused
It hit the bat, like, and it hit the bat, so it's a foul ball, so it's a strike.
no
Or are you
the
talking
one
about the one that went
about
down
the
the
one
third
that
baseline?
went the baseline, and they were all yelling that it was foul, and you said it was fair ball,
No, it's the
and
opposite. They were saying it was fair, and I said it was foul. Maybe, I don't remember that
no,
exact.
it was the other way around because we allowed it, and they were mad about it because it wasn't
Oh,
their
okay.
team.
Anyway, just quick for the audience, that those of you that weren't there, like, so Jimmy was behind the dish and I was in the booth, and I'll talk about that, but that was really cool, being up there and calling the game, uh, and then we had the celebrity team um, and the EPS, the Edmonton Police Service guys that were kind enough to donate their time. But just quickly before you continue, Jimmy, sorry to interrupt. But like honestly, it was competitive all the way down the line. Like sometimes with these, like the EPS guys came to play. Those guys were locked in, man, and they had like a 5-run lead, like halfway through the game, at the end of the third or something, and then the All Stars came back and or the celebrities came back. But just watching the game, like I
Part of
was
the
worried.
celebrity comeback had something to do with me
Yeah,
interfering.
you were yeah, well, you can continue on that track, but I'm just saying, like one concern I had, because like I said, with these things, one team really comes to play, and then you got a ragtag bunch of folks that didn't really, like haven't played together or whatever. And I could probably, I can't guarantee it because I don't know it for a fact, but the EPS team looked like they are either involved in a league that they play in every week, or they practice to prepare for it because they look great, and you know what? There was great athleticism
It
on
was
both sides, and it
it was
was
a very close game,
the
and the
if
All
you're
Stars ended up winning. I think.
on a walk off,
Yeah.
And that's the thing in baseball is if you're responsible for entertainment and baseball is attached to it, what you dream of is either like what you dream of is an extra innings walk off, like it's sawed off all the way to the end and it's extra innings, or a walk off. And it was a walk off. Then the celebrities won it on a walk off. Now it's debatable whether or not the 2 runs that you allowed them because you wanted to prosecute somebody and get them arrested for stealing a base, which is anathema to the game, but whatever, that's my commentary. I'll let you continue with your journey of the day.
But as a whole, it was a great game. It was beautiful weather out.
Yep.
It couldn't have been better. Uh, the teams were awesome. Towards the end, all the celebrities were turning on me. I was getting yelled at from everybody, and some of the calls weren't even mine because I wasn't paying attention. And then people were yelling at me because I wasn't paying attention. And then they were yelling at me when I was paying attention. So, one thing I learned about being part of this celebrity all star this all star
Challenge.
challenge, whatever.
Community
Um,
All-Star Challenge, yep.
One thing I learned is most people hate the umpire. And I'm not really, I'm not really, comfortable with all that hate. I thought I would be, being a heel in wrestling, but
Oh, I do a pretty good job weekly of exposing you to hate.
usually it's from you. And then I usually get sympathy from everybody else because I have to do a podcast with you. Um, but yes, the event was great. Like the charities, uh, there was a lot of awareness brought to the charities. That was a big thing
Yep.
because like there's some really cool stuff that happened.
Well, the Edmonton Federation of Community Federation, the Federation of Edmonton Community Leagues. I'm not sure what the acronym is. Um, and Mental Health Foundation, Variety, uh, Peace and Wellness Society. I mean, there
The
was
the
7 that
new
we supported.
the newcomer center.
Newcomer center. I mean, it felt really good to bring at least some more awareness and hopefully a few bucks to those outfits. Me
Kickstand was the
Kickstand,
other
they
one.
have they're the ones with the little cars
No,
for
no,
the
that's Variety.
variety. Yeah.
Variety had the little cars. Kickstand, they're the ones that deal with the mental health for youth.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I talked and I listen, I if you don't mind, Jimmy, I met some great people that were part of those organizations and it was just nice to, everybody pulling on the same rope and doing our best for a good cause and that I mean, forget about the experience like in general, but just that was a really nice little uh, cherry on top. For me, I'd never been in the booth before up there at the top of Remax Field, John Ducey Park, as I'll probably always call it. Um, but I got to play music from my playlist, Chris's Boat, on Spotify, folks.
So if
It's
you don't
it's
know
the
what that is, it's yacht rock till you puke.
I got some Bee Gees that are time. There's a lot of TV show themes like Three's Company and the Jeffersons and Taxi, which is Barney Miller with that bass line. Anyway, I could go on, but they showed. I'm like, I get up there and I go. There's this huge board and all this stuff, and I go, I want to press as few buttons as possible. And there's like an on off button for the mic, and I'm like, awesome. And then I was preoccupied because I said, listen, Jimmy needs a song for a dance off. You were kind enough to let me pick it, and I thought I did a good job. But
You did a pretty good job.
I wanted to make sure that I would be able to instantly press the button and it plays. And the guy showed me, and that's where we got into the Chris's Boat playlist, the very popular Chris's Boat playlist on Spotify, um, and YouTube Music. But the guy said if you have uh, a subscription to Spotify where you don't have to pay, I can I can tap you into the computer, which taps you into the sound system, and people can hear your music. So I'm like, we're half an hour before the first pitch, and I'm like, oh, holy cow, I have an opportunity to entertain all these people with my playlist. The again, Chris's Boat, Chris
Well, that's why there was a lot
Chris
of people sleeping at
apostrophe
the beginning of
space
the game.
boat playlist on Spotify. It's the best yacht rock playlist you'll ever hear, but there's other gems in there too that fit within the time. Um, Anyway, yeah, obviously that was a big part of my thing. But yeah, you and I were supposed to maybe have banter a bit, but I saw how much you were running back and forth.
But
A
we
lot of
did
the
banter.
teams,
We did,
yeah,
and you called me out on stuff that I didn't even do wrong. I
yeah.
probably would have, but it's just there was, and then
But you'd go to one dugout and tell them, "Hey, what's going on?" Or they needed your help with something, and we didn't really have the chance to banter. Anyway, so
more.
a nice for me uh, corollary from that was that I actually called a baseball game or soft slow pitch, whatever it is. If you're a kid like me, grew up listening to Al Coates calling Trappers games on the radio, or you ever hear Bucking Down for the Jays, or like really any baseball game, like that was pretty special for me to be able to, even though I wasn't expecting it, and like maybe it wasn't part of the program, but it was kind of nice to go two down, runners in the corner, 6-3 ball
You know
game.
what?
Like
Like, to be honest, and this I mean, and I'm not blowing sunshine up your ass, but I couldn't have done it without you. I've done the event before, and your play by play on everything, and and then was that a ball or a strike? And I'm like,
yeah, you needed to be nudged a little bit. I mean, nobody wanted you to be eating popcorn when you're supposed to be behind the dish calling balls
hey,
to
I was
strikes.
hungry. Um,
Yeah, and you know what though, uh, like when I left the event, and like a bunch of our friends came, which was really nice. And the people that I trust not to blow smoke up my ass. Like I had fun, but I'm not in the audience, so I don't know how I did. But
Oh, I could tell you how you did.
the people that I
and she's
trust,
honest.
No more Journey. How
uh,
about that? No more Journey.
no more loving, touching, and squeezing. What, honey?
There's other Journey tunes you could have used,
Yeah,
like "Don't
faithfully,
Stop
please.
Believing."
No, anyway, the people I trust to tell me the truth, and not blow smoke up my ass told me I did a good job. So that
I
was nice to hear. And I
Yeah,
honestly, if like today, if some minor league ball club said, "Hey, we'd like you to come out and get on the bus with us and call our games," like like whatever league it is, AAA or whatever, I'd be like, "I'll do it. That fuck it.
okay,
Who cares?"
Mooney, do me
No,
a
I'm not
favor.
saying
Do,
I'm not
do me a
saying I was that
do me
good.
a favor. Do me a favor. Don't stop drinking till that day,
I'm not.
because
I'm
you'll
not.
be you'll be sober for the rest of your life. I'm just
My point is simply this, okay? That I'm not saying I would ever be good enough to do that, but I am saying it was so much fun that I would do that, whether I sucked or not, just to be around the park and like call a game and talk to guys and whatever. So anyway,
I don't even think it. I don't think even um, Little League will ask you, Mooney. I'm just saying.
are you affiliated with that? Like with the little? Like, are you part of? Can you reach out to them?
Okay, it's
Like
a little league,
it's
not a midget league or
oh.
dwarf league.
Well, there's got to be some. There's got to be some symmetry there.
But I think we've probably covered the event good enough. It was a lot of fun. You know what? We I was to be honest, I was kind of skeptical on how well we would do in a G-rated audience, and there was no swearing, but there was also no drinking.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of that, in memory of the no drinking together, here, let's have a drink.
Yep. To the Community All Stars Challenge, I guess.
Community All Stars Slow Pitch Challenge.
Mm. We got the All About Men.
All about men, baby.
Anyway, next year, presuming it happens, anybody who wants to go, I would say that just a great afternoon to spend with the family or friends. All the concessions and liquor things were open, and I'm here to say right now that if I have 12 friends that want to go, I'll pay for the thing, the VIP thing. If they do that, um, I'll probably be sitting
I
with
don't
you
think you have
because I
12
don't think I
friends. I
did
might
that
have
well.
to. I might have to get some of my friends to.
Yeah.
join you.
But it was a great experience at the ballpark on a beautiful day in the middle of summer, and that part I'll always remember. And if you want to create memories, come back and do it next year, folks. I'll be in the VIP lounge or whatever, and we can all hang out together.
Um, now that we've finished talking about that, I've got some sad news to talk about today. It was actually announced today that Frank Beard, the drummer from ZZ Top, passed away at the age of 77, not 77.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I'm a huge fan of ZZ Top. Uh, I know it's not yacht rock.
No, I love ZZ Top, man. I like all kinds of, like, not all kinds, but uh, like I excuse me. I've been a fan of ZZ Top since before I knew I was a fan of yacht rock, even though I grew up listening to yacht rock. Um, ZZ Top was one of the first cassettes I bought when I was a kid, like Eliminator, and then I went back and bought like Tres Hombres, and I mean, they're what a fantastic outfit, and honestly, what a legacy. Like I think they've been together since '72, and Billy Gibbons. I saw Billy Gibbons in Vegas. He bought me a drink, which was insane. I met him, and obviously everyone knows who Billy Gibbons is. And then they lost Michael Dusty Hill, their bassist. Oh gosh, about 5 years ago, and actually almost exactly 5 years ago. And Frank Beard, so that was the original bassist, and then Frank Beard's the original drummer. And I mean, they were just kids starting a band, man. And look at the heights they achieved. I mean,
Yeah,
like God love them. And honestly, uh, it- um, uh, Billy Gibbons is a phenomenal guitarist. A really deep down, a really solid like blues guy. And I hope that he continues on. I mean, he's got Elwood now playing bass, and replacement of Dusty Hill. He grew a beard for it, the role too, and I hope that they do. I know that when I saw him uh, in Vegas, he was doing kind of solo stuff. Probably it might have been helped with the other guys. I don't know, but it was at Brooklyn Bowl, and his drummer was Matt Sorum. He of Guns N' Roses, and prior to that, the Cult. But he's been a professional drummer since we were kids, and I hope that they get somebody to come in there and lay down the beat so that Billy Gibbons can keep doing his thing.
but Mooney, just so you know, the ZZ Top's first album came out before either of us were born.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
It was
And like
1970, baby.
and any of you that got into them, like from Eliminator, which basically admittedly I did because I was a kid when that came out. Um like some of their other stuff, Lagrange. Like you want to check out ZZ Top, listen to the album Lagrange, listen to the album Tres Hombres. They've got some crazy songs and you're like, "Oh my god, that's ZZ Top." Like check them out. Anyway, Frank Beard's legacy will live on forever, and it's a horrible loss for one of the greatest outfits of all time. I wonder if they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We talked about the Hall of Fame, eh?
I think they were. I really want to say they were.
I'm gonna ask Rock right now. Is ZZ Top in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? They fucking better be.
Hell yeah, they fucking are. ZZ
uh, I love your unhinged.
Thank God, man. They're a great outfit. Too bad about Frank Beard dying, eh?
Yeah, man, it's a real gut punch. Frank Beard, the beardless drummer of ZZ Top, died yesterday at 77 in hospice care in Texas. Billy Gibbons called him a great friend. His signature backbeat was key to keeping ZZ on top. The band canceled their Salt Lake City and Colorado Springs shows, but will resume the tour this weekend in Austin, one of Frank's favorite spots.
That's great. Do you have any idea who's gonna be the drummer for those gigs? Whoops. That's great. Do you have any idea who's going to be the drummer for those gigs? I'm glad they're carrying on.
It's Michael Monaghan, the same guy who filled in for Frank during his health leave earlier. Billy Gibbons and Elwood Francis are carrying on with him behind the kit for the Austin gigs this weekend.
Well, there you go.
Wow. That is yeah, it's quite sad though. But
100%. I saw him at the
but
Agricom.
he's 77, you know, so
Yeah, I saw him at the Agricom. Oh gosh, less than 5 years ago, after COVID. So, and I'll see him again just to support them. Like, honest to God, they're a gift, and they will their legacy will outlive them by millennia. So, God bless Frank Beard. Did we do a toast? Let's do another one. Frank Beard.
all about men and Frank Beard. Okay, I have to ask you a question, Mooney.
Sure.
Where were you 10 years ago? What were you doing 10 years ago?
Wow, that's just out of the blue. What are we?
August 20th, 20 years, 10 years ago.
2016. Oh, well, you could always check the photos, but I think it might. Graf and I might have been in San Francisco. Like we bought our house. We literally bought our house like almost a year before that. Um, that's a great question. We should almost do a segment about that. Not that anyone cares what I was doing, but just I'm like, what was I up to?
But I can tell you what I was doing, but I'll wait till.
Yeah, let me see. Oh my God, we were doing the same thing. I think that was, or at least thereabouts. That was Friday, August 12th. I think was Nate Rateliff at Folkfest.
Oh, okay, that's the 12th. I was talking the 20th, but yes, I saw him at Folk Fest too.
Yeah, um, August 19th, August 20th. Oh my gosh, I'm somewhere. Oh, I was out with Bayrak and Alton. I think it was the Tragically Hip.
It was the Tragically Hip's final concert
Yeah,
before it was their final concert of all times before Gord Downey passed.
yep,
And so
that's
it was
what it was.
August 20th, 2016. It was in Kingston, Ontario. We were actually watching it live from in Leduc at the Canadian Brew House.
Oh, they had a simulcast at the back. It was like on
Yeah,
CBC or some shit.
yeah,
Eh?
you could yes, and so with that, CBC is actually so the CBC and the Hip are doing two different things. So one, they're releasing a live album from that so all 29 songs from that show will be played um in an album, and as well as CBC will be actually rebroadcasting the live show.
Wow. And that was 2016,
Yes.
July, and it wasn't long after that they
Oh,
did their final.
The July was here when
Yeah,
they
I
were
know,
here
but
in July.
the last show was in Kingston, where they're from.
Yes, and that was on the 20th
Of July,
August.
August. So that was like literally a year and a month from like when he actually passed. God love him. And so,
He did a
but
couple of shows solo, and he did an album solo after that.
but my point is, like, I saw them, and frankly, they sounded great, and so did he. And I
Yeah.
mean, the guy's like literally a year away from dying, and he's got a glioblastoma, like brain cancer, and for all of that, like if you the music was fantastic. I think
Yeah.
you'd agree with me.
Yeah, it was great. And just to think that that was 10 years ago. Um it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, another interesting thing, and not to insert myself into this, but I mean,
Yes.
I'm glad that that outfit, like, I mean, they're a classic Canadian outfit. I'm glad that they could, cap off their career with a basically an arena tour throughout Canada. But honestly, like 3 or 4 years prior to that, I saw him at the Jube.
Yeah, like
You
they're
know, like
but they're were amazing band, and they, as far as I'm concerned, they were Canadian royalty. Like they
sure, of course.
like one of the top Canadian bands, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I mean, no question. There's absolutely no doubt. I mean, I
Glass
know like
Tiger is, a little higher than them, but it's just, it's just
like I mean, in terms of longevity and their catalog, I mean, they've got a fantastic catalog. They played SNL. I mean, like Blue Rodeo and a bunch of other outfits just weren't able to cross the what is it, the 45th parallel or whatever in the states, even though we loved them. But I mean, I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. Um, when we talk about Canadian talent, like you're in radio, you know how they have the whole Factor or CRTC thing where you got to
yeah.
play 3 outfits an hour, um, or whatever it is of music.
40% like throughout the day. Actually, even I think it's even per hour. Um, unless you may if there's rules, but for like between 30 and 40% of your music has to be Canadian content. Kind of depends on how old your music license is.
Well, my point though is that would they have um, risen to the levels that they had without the CanCon thing because they tested the American market and they did then they like I hate to use the word failed, but they didn't penetrate. And I'm just I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I love all those outfits. I mean, Red Rider. I mean, we go see them, Honeymoon Suite, Trooper, and they're all great. And I like that
So,
them. I like their music. I like their catalogs. And I
so
just
is what you're saying, and I'm going to get a little controversial here. So, with the fact that because some of their tunes have penetrated into the states, but not a huge amount.
no,
But you look at a band like Nickelback. I love the band Nickelback.
yeah,
I really do, but it's huge in the states. It's actually bigger in the states than it is here because people here love to hate Nickelback, but they still go to see Nickelback here because they love to hate them.
yeah,
And but like the Guess Who is deeply in the states, so like
yeah. I wonder about
known.
them. Like, they were huge and they were like one of the biggest bands in the world. Um,
But I think the reason I like when it comes to the Guess Who, I think one of the biggest reasons they penetrated is they had a song called American Woman.
no, they had
And
so many songs,
no, but
man. Like,
they had so many songs, but that one was played huge in the States. And then, all their other stuff came. Like, no, I'm not saying that Guess Who only had one hit. Hell no.
oh, they
But
were fantastic, are fantastic songwriters. And I'm gonna okay. No, we should finish this topic. What I'm saying is that, and I'm not a big fan of like legislation supporting art and all that. I mean, art should stand on its own, right? Um, but but at the same time, some of these fantastic outfits that I just mentioned that we grew up on or that we heard of or that, I mean, like the hip are a cultural institution. I mean, but then you have Mitchell and Neil Young, and they penetrated, like you ask me, I
Brian
think
Adams.
well, yeah, but like according to my personal musical taste, which is core, like not really a part of this argument, but Blue Rodeo is better than both of them, in my opinion. But would I have discovered Blue Rodeo if they didn't have those content rules? You know what I mean?
I think you would have because especially at the beginning, they started here and they pushed the market. I think like and I because I don't know when they launched the high percentage of Canadian content, but
Yeah,
I don't
like
want
but
to I
like
don't want
the
to get too
videos.
much
No,
into
I
the.
don't either. I like, and it's just speculation anyway, and no one really cares what we have to say, to be honest, or what our opinions are. Like, just maybe food for thought. But my story about the Guess Who is ironically, 'cause it's just coincidence. I came across this article yesterday, and Randy Bachman was talking about Bob Seger, who's like one of my all-time favorite artists. And Bob Seger opened. He's from Michigan, Detroit, and he opened for the Guess Who in gosh, I think it was like 70 or 72. And they got along famously. They probably played like 100 odd dates. Like, and Seeger asked, it's probably 72 now I think about it. It's irrelevant. But Seeger asked Randy Bachman of the Guess Who, or BTO, which was also a huge hit in the States. Like BTO, for the short time it existed, had so many hit songs. Anyways, he asked Randy Bachman to produce his next record, which became Night Moves. And Randy said, I would love to. You're a great guy. But we have to do this record ourselves, or we got to do this tour, and I can't. And he recommended a guy to him. And that guy ended up co-writing Night Moves with Bob Seger. and Bob Seger wasn't overjoyed about the song. Like, he didn't think it was that great. And the record company, when they submitted it to record company said, not only is this going to be the lead off single on this record, we're naming the record Night Moves. And of course, it went on to sell millions and millions of copies, and like partly made him famous. And Randy Bachman's like, yeah, it made a lot of money. It's like the guy who produced their last album was the guy who recommended in his stead.
Yeah.
Anyways, but just what got me thinking about is we're talking about, you overlook how big the Guess Who were, right? She's come undone, like so many hits.
Yeah, but the thing is with the Guess Who, when did they start?
It had been like 69, 70, I reckon. No Sugar Tonight. Like, what a movie.
1962, they were active. They
Oh,
started.
they met in high school.
Yes.
Like, when was their first record?
Should say they had their greatest success from 1969 to 72.
Yeah. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But they might have met in high school and played, like, but it's like, when did they? To me, the band's career starts when they record their first record. That's just me, though. Maybe.
Yeah. They formed in 58.
Yeah, when they were 12 or something. They're not that super old. Anyway, whatever.
But that's not the point, because they said they started in high school.
Well, you say 58, I'm thinking maybe. No, yeah, that might track. Whatever. We saw them. Well, we saw them, right? Or were you part of that with Johnny?
No, I was out of town.
Yeah, that was 3 months ago or something, and they were fantastic. They were just fantastic. I mean, at their age, at Rogers, and they sounded great. And we're lucky to have them again. Another outfit. I doubt that we had the CanCon rules that we had even 10, 20 years later, but they broke through, right? They broke through.
Like, yeah,
and you're not just competing against 30 million Canadians.
Started,
it's like 300 million.
They were
Americans.
active from 69, but they started earlier.
Mhm.
And the CanCon rules started in 71.
Yeah, there you go. Which is crazy, because it's like, literally, when they started the CanCon rules, a Canadian band was literally one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, do we really need your help? Anyway, and I'm not saying Canadian artists didn't, because again, like, I don't think anyone would have known who the Parachute Club is, or Luba, or a lot of those other Gowan, a lot of those other bands that, kind of Platinum Blonde. I mean, the list goes on. Without the CanCon shit.
Then there's like other bands that are huge Canadian bands, like as I said, like Nickelback is one of them. Isn't Troopers Canadian?
Yeah. Like another one that broke in the States. I mean, they're still active. But Big Wreck.
Yeah.
And they're still recording, but Ian something Lee, Thornley. I didn't have to look. Ian Thornley, who founded Big Wreck. And like, I think they broke through in the States in the 90s without really Canadian help, and they were kind of a thing for a bit, and then but then he's kind of an artist dude, so he didn't really care about the commercialism. And actually, if I don't know if you remember Velvet Revolver with Slash, and they did that band with Scott Weiland and the
I have
guy.
no idea. I worked for a classic rock radio station.
Sorry,
I have no idea who they are. I
okay,
have no
Velvet Revolver is
no
Slash,
clue.
Duff
Yeah.
McKagan, and
Okay.
who's the other fellow who played drums? I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just the who was in it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Anyway, Velvet Revolver. The first guy they wanted was Ian Thornley from Big Wreck. They went to him and they said, "Hey, we love your voice. Like he's got a fantastic voice, but as good as his voice is, he's an even better guitarist. That's hard to believe, but it's true." And they asked him to be part of Big Wreck, or is it not Big Wreck? Sorry, Velvet Revolver. And he said no. He's like, unless I'm the main guitar player, I'm not playing. I don't want to. But they're like, oh, we love your voice. You can play rhythm. He's like, no, I want to write my own songs. I want to be lead guitar. And I mean, he turned down a shit ton of money. And anyway, Big Wreck is still out
But
there making great
I
music.
respect
Check
that
him out.
though. I respect
me
that
too,
though.
like,
Like
big
like
time.
if you're turning down huge money because you have scruples that are more than money. Then
Oh,
you want
100%.
I
I'd
do
like to think
respect
that I'd like to think that I would be that guy. Like honestly, I mean, to me, I admire that way more than wow, he made $1 million. Like I honestly, I don't care about that.
Dude, you'd play a gig in Safeway for $20.
Bro, I'd ride the buses and call minor league games for free for diem. Then that's the truth, folks.
But one other band that was huge before the Canadian content rules, and I'm gonna throw out their biggest hit, and it definitely was huge in the States. Born to Be Wild, Steppenwolf. They're Canadian, dude.
Oh yeah,
They're from Toronto.
Steppenwolf, and you know who else I'm thinking is and when I die and when I'm gone, there'll be one child born in this world to carry on, to carry on.
Oh, who
They're
is that?
so good. Oh, David Allen something was the lead singer. Um, and I don't know if they're Canadian, but Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And I don't know if they're Canadian, but I know that they're David Clayton Thomas was his name, and I didn't get that from my phone. Um, I don't know if they're Canadian, but that dude was lead singer in their heyday, and I think it was really like the one record. But holy shit, was that good music? Like, but anyway, whatever. I think I don't want to beat this horse to death.
Yeah, we've. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. David Clayton Thomas. He just passed recently too.
I think he did. Yeah.
The only
But there's
thing I don't know if they're in the Rock Hall, but the only reason they shouldn't be on merit is longevity because they weren't around making new records for that long.
You make me laugh, dude. You make me laugh so much because every time we talk about music or rock bands, well, I wonder if they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like you worry about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame more than most of these artists do.
No, it's more than that.
But to be honest, like you think about them being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame more than like the bands
No,
do.
it's
care
not
as
that.
much.
It's not that. It's kind of the opposite. It's like a fucking vendetta. Like I'm like I want to prove that this band is so good and they're not in the Rock Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
I'm not considering the Rock Hall like the bar. I'm saying this is more proof that not being in the Rock Hall or being in the Rock Hall is bullshit. If you follow my line of reasoning.
yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm
Okay.
I do not I've said enough shitty things about the Rock Hall that obviously like you know that I don't consider it a credible thing. So like honestly, like when Grok told me that ZZ Top was in the Rock Hall, I'm like fuck. Because I want to have another reason to come after them.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've kind of done that, I want to get into something that I was kind of thinking about, even though it's not till November. Um, the fall time change. So November 1st is when the time change takes place of going from daylight savings to or daylight saving time to normal. Um, and it was announced that Alberta will not be changing, so we'll be staying at the same time zone. So I have some questions dealing with that, and it's kind of interesting because so we're not making the time change. BC isn't making the time change, and and Saskatchewan hasn't for the last several years. So here's my thought process with this. Okay, so we're not BC isn't Saskatchewan isn't. So we're gonna always be at the same time as Saskatchewan.
Yep.
But with the fact that Manitoba makes the time change, so they fall back. So that's gonna mean isn't that gonna mean that they're gonna be 2 hours behind us?
Caveat, it involves math, so already my credibility
Because
sinks.
they're already an hour behind. So like they're already an hour behind us. So if they fall back in the fall, right?
Yeah.
So then therefore they're going to be 2 hours behind us. Ontario is going to be 3 hours behind us, and the Maritimes, so forth and so on. But where my concern is stuff like hockey. Like Pacific time will now be 3 hours different for that time frame.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. Well, you know what? Oh my god! Wait a minute. That does suck. Okay, so here's where this reminds, or it doesn't remind me. I mean, I wasn't. I was probably alive, but not old enough to give a shit. But like when they switch from uh imperial to metric, where it's kind of like this is a
Wait,
multi-layered.
no. I think I'm going the wrong way. Because if they fall back
Hang
and
on.
we stay the same, they're going to be the same time as us.
Despite my egregious math deficiencies, I think I can nail this down solely based on sports. um, but like, but anyway, getting back to my point, you know, where you go, oh, okay, well, it's this. I have to change my habits, or I have to change my understanding of what this means, because like you're like, oh, it's this many kilometers away. Well, how many fucking miles is that? Like, but you're like, no, it's not miles anymore. It's kilometers. You see this sign and it has a number that you don't know what it means, right? Unless it's like a regular route. Anyway, I think it's about habit or whatever, but I've never been a big fucking daylight savings or like
It's saving.
daylight saving. Oh, good point. Semantics matter.
Full
Uh,
spelling.
yeah. I've never been a guy on either side of that fence. I'm like, things work. I'm fine. But now that you think about it, what
But
is
I'm
that?
wrong. But I'm wrong. It's actually going to be better for us because if they go
Okay,
back,
make your case.
if they go back an hour and we stay the same, so that means for the winter we're going to be the same time as Manitoba. So Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta are going to all be on the same time because
So hang on.
They're ahead an hour because they're ahead an hour. So they're going to go back. So actually, hockey will be early. It will be if it's in.
Don't even talk about Manitoba because Central Time means fuck all in the sports world to me.
But I'm
Like
just.
you might
But
have
I'm just
a
saying.
handful of Central Time. Eastern Time is where you want to make the comparison.
But if they go back an hour and we stay the same, so when it's 6 o'clock here, it's 7 o'clock there. So
So
it's actually going to be better for you for hockey.
Hockey Night in Canada, for example, if the game is, it starts at 7 in Toronto and 5 here, right? 5 because of the 2-hour time change.
So this could be 7 and 6.
Now it'll be 6 because they sprung forward, but wait a minute. Oh no, they fell back. They fell back.
They will fall back. So
Yeah.
they
So like
will
right
be
now it's
1 hour ahead of us.
6:24. If we don't change, it would be 5:24 down east. So it would be an hour
No.
difference. Yeah.
They're an hour ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking about our
Or 2
time.
hours ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Like,
So if it's
yeah, okay.
6 o'clock in Ontario right now, it's 4 o'clock. Or sorry, if it's 8 o'clock there, it's 8 there now. It's 6 here. We're talking
Okay.
in circles.
Yeah, and okay, so here's my other thing. A priority of mine, or because to me, I don't give a fuck what time it is in Toronto, LA, like even Europe, unless I'm traveling there. The only and maybe my life is meaningless and there isn't enough like depth to my experience of life, but I consider time in terms of sports. That's why I use the imperial and metric thing. Well, it's supposed to be 2 hours. What do you mean it's 1 hour? I don't understand. You told me about like LA and Vegas, and like we play in the NHL, the Oilers play in the Pacific Division. So that's Pacific time, right?
and they're
So
now Pacific is an hour behind.
okay, all I know is this, and again, don't ask me to do math. And again, I think that when we went from metric to imperial, most people were like me, and it's like, I don't want to fucking pull out my calculator. Just tell me how long it's going to take, right? So I'm saying right now, if the Oilers were playing the Vegas Golden Knights, for example, that game would be, and it started now, it would be 7:26.
Where's
Sorry,
Vegas? Is it East Coast or West Coast?
it's West Coast. So
So
like, oh wait a minute, it would start at 7:26 our time because they're an hour ahead.
Vegas is an hour behind.
Or sorry, they're an hour behind. We're an hour ahead.
Yes.
So like the 7 o'clock games in Vegas are 8 o'clock our time.
Yes.
But if we don't spring forward, or sorry, fall back, then does that mean the 7 o'clock game is
BC isn't changing. I'm not sure about California.
nobody cares about the Canucks. I'm talking about the
No,
Kings,
but I'm
the
just
Ducks, the
telling
Sharks,
you
and the
BC isn't changing, but I'm not sure if the states are staying or if they're going to stay at the normal Pacific time and go back. That I don't know.
okay. But my point is, in the depths of December and like it's cold and I can't wait for the fucking hockey game. Normal December, the game in LA or Vegas that starts at 7 for me starts at 8. It's a minor
Yes.
inconvenience
Yes.
because you go to bed an hour later. Who gives a fuck, right? Or you stay up drinking an hour later, whatever you choose to do after the game or during the game. But if we don't, as you say, like
Oh,
fall,
If we don't
no
fall back,
problems. No, the time changed for the hockey game. No.
yeah,
but if we don't fall back, but where I'm talking about is where like in some like say if we're playing the Maple Laughs, right? If we're playing the Maple Leafs and it is and they do the fall back, then it'll only be 1 hour difference.
right. So
So if they're playing in Toronto at 7, it's 6 here.
yeah, I'm saying that the time of the game advances an hour. And this is my prime concern that I still people are watching this going, Mooney, I think is retarded.
No, actually,
like
to be honest, I think
I
you're
think
saying we're
I think
both
we
are a
have
little slow.
we have conclusive evidence that Mooney is retarded. Like yeah, I was almost there, but my lovely life partner interrupted me, and I don't mind that ever. But um, so normal winter, uh, a 7 o'clock game in Vegas starts at 8 o'clock here.
Yes.
Okay, now don't interrupt me because my bandwidth for math is like 0. So if we don't fall back, meaning we stay at the current time, does that mean that it's 7 o'clock our time? Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it?
No, I'm like
I think it means that it's 9 o'clock our time.
I
Because
don't
they're
know
already
about
behind us, and then they fell
I
back.
don't
They fell back, and we didn't.
BC isn't changing. I'm not sure about California
Okay, I don't even know why we're doing this. I just gotta go.
because I was thinking
If
staying in
the
Canada and you're going
Edmonton
into the
Oilers
U.S.
are playing a team in the Pacific time zone like the Knights or the Kings, and we don't do daylight savings time, and there's a game that starts at 7 in Vegas in December, what time will it start in Edmonton? Are we fucked?
Alberta's on permanent Alberta time now. UTC -6. No more clock changes. Vegas stays on Pacific, which flips between UTC -7 and -8. In December, Vegas is on Pacific Standard Time, UTC -8. So a 7 p.m. Vegas puck drop is 9 p.m. Edmonton time. You're not fucked. You're just watching a late game.
Well, that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, 9 p.m. puck drop is some bullshit. You're settling in for a long night while the rest of the country gets to watch at a reasonable hour.
Okay, so now you hate it. I'm just guessing.
I don't hate it. I'm just like I
Now
knew it, and it
now
was like
now it's a later game.
like
But
this is
but
how
the good
dumb I
news,
am.
the good
This is
news
how
is
dumb I am because the time spectrum is like it is what it is. So if the game's an hour later in Toronto, and I'm like, no big deal, we can watch at 6. Then fucking obviously it'd be an hour later, like applied across the board. Like, like that. Like I'm an idiot.
but in better news, if they're playing the Canucks, it's 1 hour earlier.
No, it's 1 hour later, dude. That's the whole
No,
point.
the Canucks aren't changing.
Oh, I get it.
BC isn't changing.
Oh, okay. So one other
That's why I
aspect.
was confused on whether or not they were going to be on, but they aren't changing either.
So one other aspect of this that might be interesting is that, um, like in the playoffs, okay, I'd venture a guess that more than half of the teams in the NHL are on the, or at least half the teams are on the Eastern Seaboard, right? So we're talking about EST, and then when you have playoffs, you know how like you have playoffs and it's not a Saturday night game where they want to shoehorn 2 games or 3 games into the schedule, but they like how are we going to suffer from that? So if the game in the winter, like the Toronto game starts at 6 here, then that means that our playoff game for us is going to start at 9. And so like think about this for a minute. The Oilers
So
are
during the
playing in the
playoffs, you're taking the whole playoffs off. You're not working after a playoff game.
yeah, like the Oilers are playing in the playoffs. The game starts at 9, unless the East game goes into overtime. It probably starts at 9 anyway because they have all the channels now, Sportsnet 12 or whatever. But then that means that the game starts at 9. Now, what if it goes into double overtime? Like there's the potential there for you not to go to bed till like 2 a.m. I know it's an outlier, but it still kind of like fucking sucks. And I didn't even think about the NFL. Like, what the fuck? So the NFL, it typically starts at 11 a.m. on the dot every fucking Sunday. And the NFL is like huge about starting on time and everything like for TV. So now 11 o'clock, if we don't fall back, what does that mean? Everybody else falls back. Do we start at the same time? Because now we're not talking about time zones. I'm saying
We
our
kind
time.
of are.
No, I'm not. If I'm not talking about time zones, it doesn't matter. The NFL games then start at noon. We don't fall back. So we don't
So
fall
it
back.
kind
It's
of
at 11.
I don't know. Okay, this is too much.
Hang
This
on
is
a minute.
too-
Yeah, I know,
like,
right?
like,
It's
like
the
the
what
only
a
thing
couple
that
of
the only
dummies.
thing that's the only thing that's keeping my brain in my ears right now is the fact that I'm wearing headphones and it's
Yeah,
preventing it from
it-
leaking.
this isn't
Um,
for auditory purposes. It's to keep our idiocy from like leaking out of our heads or the good stuff escaping. Um, so we don't fall back, but they stay the same. If we did fall back, it would be at 11, but we don't. So that means NFL starts at 12 now. So instead of showing up at the bar at noon to watch all the games, so it's noon and 3. It used to be 11 and 2. Okay, got it. Like that really honestly, that's the only time zones matter to me unless I'm traveling. And then you're
Is
like,
it for-
and I don't do jet lag, so I don't
I,
give a fuck.
I love you. I didn't think of that until I thought of you, and I'm like, oh, sports game changes.
Yeah.
I don't. The only thing I worry about is watching Super Bowl and Grey Cup, and that's
Yeah.
just because those are great game or the UFC, NFC. That's where you can drink in early.
This whole segment, is that what your radio guys call it? It's just like a fucking like I'm like cut, edit.
This
'Cause
whole segment is
Jimmy and Chris
listening.
are a pair of idiots.
This whole segment is okay. Are they smarter than an eighth grader? Hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like, it's 1 hour. What happens? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know either. What the fuck?
but okay, so
Oh man.
now I want to get into something that's a little less
Brainy?
think
Please say yes.
brainy.
Good.
Brainy. I
Thank you.
want to get into something
Thank you.
which I want your opinion on because
Oh
we've
wow.
had this prep
That's an
in.
interesting new development.
I know. I kind of like it, but I'm not sure if I do. We've had this in. This was actually announced back in June, so it's been in the prep for a really long time. Is the whole thing about the 3-in-1 ID in Alberta? So you can get your license, or your ID card. Now you can get your Alberta health care card on it and your uh, country of residency, like if you're Canadian
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, Thoughts?
Yeah, I can't think of a reason why that's bad. Um, give me like 1 second. I think I can grab this. So like I think I have my Alberta healthcare card in my wallet. And it's like I don't know if you have yours, but it's just a little piece of laminate. Yeah, like look at this.
No, mine isn't even
Like
in laminate.
like it's look at this. This is a laminate like
Mine
this
isn't
is
even laminated. I
and
have like
I don't know what happens to it if I lose it. Like, do I got to put in for another one?
you
They got to send it to me.
no, you
But
just
like
got to send it to you.
now,
But
maybe they've changed it since my mom gave this to me when I started adulting. I don't know.
the one I have, I've had since that. I've had, oddly enough, the one I currently have was in a wallet I lost 10 years ago,
Yeah,
and then I've got two Alberta health cards since then, and then somehow that wallet got sent back to me. So
like with my kids, I gave them a copy, and the card was the same. It was just that laminated Tom
no,
fucker
mine
with
wasn't even laminated. It was a
yeah.
piece of paper that you self laminate.
But I took pictures of them, of each of them, and I have them on my phone or in my Google Photos or what. Or no, I actually have them in my Google Drive, so I have a file with my kids'
Because
actual.
mine isn't even laminated. It's a piece of paper that's in, the wallets you used to get that had the plastic insert that you had the credit card slots.
Yeah,
Mine is still in the credit card slot, like that's a book,
yeah.
and it's the only thing in it because I can't take it out because half the numbers are stuck to the plastic. Um,
Oh yeah, it's like my social insurance number when I was like 16 when I first started driving. And you remember the old
why
Rexall?
did you need a social insurance number to drive?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Hear me out. My mom gave me like put in for the social insurance card, and that was plastic from Canada, government of Canada. It was like a credit card, and and I had it in my wallet. You know, you're 16 and you start thinking that you're an adult and whatever. And we went to an Oilers game at Northlands, and I parked at the parkade across the street because that's what my dad always did, and it wasn't a big deal and whatever. And I'm driving the family car, and I Hmm. like I'd put all my cash in my pocket, leave my wallet in the car on the passenger seat in a parkade. So we get back, and the window got broke, and they took my wallet. Not that they're like fuck, there's no money in here. I'm 16. I don't have a credit card. Like it was, they probably threw it in the trash like a block away. But either way, I lost my social insurance card. And at the time anyway, they said they don't, like for security purposes, they don't reissue them. So that kind of sucks, right? Um, but thank God my mom remembered it. So like, like now when the credit bureau wants to come after me or
Oddly,
wherever else it matters, I don't know, like,
so
I'm
I've got a similar story because I lost my social insurance card years ago.
yeah,
I had my number memorized by then,
yeah.
but I was. This is going to be a story that's going to be a lot of conversation within my family that listen to this podcast. Uh, so I was at a strip club
Dude,
in
you're whitewashing it. You're
no,
like
no.
you
I'm actually going to tell it exactly as
got
is.
embedded in a stripper's vagina.
No, so what happened is I was at a strip club in Toronto. I think it was on Yonge Street. I don't think that really matters. It was called the Brass Rail, um, and I lost my wallet. And that was when I was with the basketball team. But imagine your first time at a strip club in Ontario with a bunch of midgets. You lose your wallet.
I
What
think
can
when people tell themselves that they lost their wallet at a strip club, they're only kidding themselves.
no, but I did.
Like there's enough bad characters
Oh yeah,
hanging
some of
like
it stolen, 100%.
yeah.
But years later, I ended up getting most of it back, except my SIN number, like my SIN card. But that's a different story.
Yeah. So getting
But
back ish
but
on
no
track.
no
Oh, sorry, go on if you
but I am kind of on track on this one because this is kind of a funny story. But because I like, and it was my only picture ID. That was before passports.
yeah.
This was in the early 2000s
What was
when you
your like
didn't
your driver's license?
my photo ID. Yeah,
Your
it
passport.
was.
Or sorry, your passport was your only
No,
picture
no,
ID.
I didn't have a passport back then because I never went outside Canada.
What was your
But
only picture ID?
was my Alberta photo ID,
Oh, okay, yeah, they have the yeah,
the personal ID card.
yeah.
And the thing is that was early 2000. No, late 2000 because when my ID was stolen, it was just after 9/11, and then you couldn't go on a plane without picture ID.
Yeah, no shit.
So I had to take a bus from Kingston, Ontario to Tabor. Um, just so you know, that was
So
two and a half
Highway 1.
2.5 days
Yeah,
on a
like
bus.
if you're driving, add 8 hours, right? Because you got to stop at all the different stations on the way, right? Like,
But there was like 6 hours at one station.
yeah.
There
Oh
was
my
over
God, fuck
like
me.
I was stuck in Medicine Hat for 9. Um, and
Okay, let
because
me.
my but yeah, okay.
It's a picture ID, and the train doesn't need it, so you, right? Is
No,
your point?
the bus didn't, but flying did.
Sorry, the bus. Yeah. So that kind of leads me to my point where I can think of two pros, and I haven't I haven't really done a deep dive intellectually into this to come up with any cons, but there might be some out there that I don't know, and I'd be happy to hear them. But my point is
I have
that
one.
okay, but my first pro is that if you have everything on one fucking card, it's right there. And if you've ever lost your driver's license or have ever had to get a new one, it comes back in the mail like pretty quick, like usually within a week if you live in Alberta. So I'm like having all that data on one's card is awesome because these stories we're talking about, I mean, like if you lose in Kingston, you're fucked anyway. But like, like this little flimsy Alberta Health card or whatever. You have all that data in your license, and if you're adulting in a fairly reasonable manner, like you're gonna have your driver's license on you like 99% of the time, probably higher than that. So to have all that data in one spot, great. Argument in favor number two. Negates the digital ID fuckers that are trying to put all their shit online, and that you got to have it on your phone, and government has access to your phone and all that stuff. And
Yeah, that Alberta One
I don't
thing that they
I
have.
don't want to
Yeah.
see any of that ever. So if I go, I got a card, I don't need any of that. I don't need to sign
Because
up
the
for
problem
anything.
with the
It's
digital
right
is it
here.
can
Fuck
be
off.
hacked, it can be
Well, it's
duplicated.
more than that. Is that in order to get it, the government has access to your shit, and like then again, not to sound crazy, but I'm not saying that you get social credit scores like they do in China, but why introduce anything where that possibility
But
exists?
but
If you're a
Mooney,
freedom loving society, you're
I'm
like,
gonna
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
I'm
introduce
gonna
something
steal that
that
thought away
prevents.
from you.
Okay.
Because the thing is if it's on your Alberta ID now, the government has all of it. So at least if you had your because it also has your
No.
citizenship. It has your citizenship on
Yep.
also on that card.
Which is
So
another
think,
benefit. That's number
but think
3.
about so Alberta licensing, who now printed your card,
Yep.
has all three of those things. Whereas the other way, you had the you had Health Alberta, Healthcare Alberta
Alberta
had your
Health.
health
Yeah.
card. Alberta Health had your number, not the government, not licensing, not registration, just Alberta Health. Now they both have it. Now
That's
the Alberta Registries has both. Now they have your citizenship. So actually, so if there is a leak in Alberta Registries,
like
no, but if there is a leak in Alberta Registries,
sure.
they now have everything.
I'm
And
not talking like you're missing my point on this, Jimmy. No offense. And that's that
I
the minute
maybe went over my head.
yeah, like everything except a beer that you're chugging. That
Yeah,
goes
because
in
I
your head.
don't aim at my forehead.
Yeah.
Um,
The the um the point is that when they start talking about digital ID, right? It's like you have to download it onto your phone. You have to. Would you like to download your now required digital ID onto your phone? You download on that onto your phone. Then there's software on the phone, in the app, whatever it's and it's an app.
well, I don't
Fucking
want that
trust me.
shit on my phone.
Right. That's my point.
Never,
Is that
never,
like
no,
if you
because
so
people
having it on a
people can
card,
hack your
neg-
phone.
yes, having it on a card negates like any argument that goes, we need universal cards, so that we know Jimmy's healthcare and all that. Like, no, you don't need any of that now. It's the same thing with universal, like with the income, right? Like universal identity, universal, like, uh, or central bank currency, as they say, like, any of that, like, no, 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 because again, as we've seen with China, you can if you give an authoritarian government, and I'm not making an argument either way about what we have now, but if you gave an ambitious government that wanted to control you access to your device, they would have the ability, if they wanted to check your shit out, and you can't use your Google Pay, you can't use your credit card, you can't use like whatever, right? Like as phones increasingly become a bigger part of our life and digital currency or whatever like becomes a thing, the last thing you want is for the people who have power to have access to anything that you do whilst exercising your freedoms. Is my point.
But what I'm
It's
saying
phone
is,
centric. Is my point.
what I'm saying though is if Alberta Registries, now you've given them all this information, now if their database is hacked, which there is breaches in that kind of stuff all the time,
Yeah.
so now all your information is being shared rather than don't no just listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay, the thing is if that database is breached, now people have your healthcare number, they have your
Yep.
license number, they have your your resident status, all that kind of stuff. So the thing is if you keep it all on separate cards, so it's only so now only Alberta Health has my number.
Yep.
Now only Passport Canada has like my resident status, and then Alberta Registries has my license. Now Alberta Registries has all that information.
Alberta Registries has all that fucking information anyway, and that's fine. I mean, identity
No,
theft is a thing and it happens. I'm talking about the government prosecuting you because you say, I think Alberta should leave. I'm not saying they're going to do it or they want to do it or whatever. I'm saying
what
that
does
if
that
you
have to do
open
with what we're talking about?
every, oh my God. Okay, Jimmy, if I have a card that has all the relevant information that governments need that's applicable to government on a card, and they want to sell me or make the case that we need a digital ID, kind of like the vaccine passport or
I
something,
don't.
right?
Yes.
Okay, that is like if we have the card, then we can say no. In Alberta, we have a card that shows all that shit anyway. We don't need to. You don't need to introduce digital ID or whatever, right? Is what I'm saying. It's a pro that we have that where we go. No, you know what? We're stepping ahead of it by going. We have a driver's license or an Alberta ID that mitigates any argument that you might have as a central government that increasingly, and this is almost without argument, reaching for more control. Okay. When they want to say we need a digital identification, because guess what happens with digital identification? Download an app, it's on my phone. Then they go, oh my God, Chris Mooney hates midgets. We need to prosecute him for hate crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, if you hate
it's a
midgets, I'm
slippery.
crossing. Dude,
Oh, you'll kill me
you're
first.
you're 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 going to Geneva,
You said that you hate midgets yourself, though. Like,
but I'm allowed to. I am one.
now you're like,
Like,
I hate crackers. That's about all I can say. I hate white males, and then
no,
everyone's like, the majority would love me.
no. But the thing is, though,
But you get
is
my
no.
point. Is like having the card that gives all the information in one spot negates the argument of somebody that wants to have a digital identification shit on your phone. Okay, is that fair? I think it's fair.
But it is to a point. But we've been dragging this out way too long.
Hmm.
But it's just
We got a lot more of
it
it.
is to a point because of the fact that with the fact that Alberta Registries that actually
They
has
have all that shit
no
anyway,
no no
man.
but
Dude.
but they like with your new picture and all that kind of stuff, so they can reduplicate you the same card, so they have a database. So if someone wanted to, even if our federal government wanted to, they could hack the Alberta Registries and get all that information and still hold it against you.
Oh,
So
they could no, not really. I mean, I have your social insurance number. They
you're
could, whatever. Like that's for me. I don't care. But what we're talking about is like people who are acting outside the law, outside the government, that want to steal your ID and use it to get a credit card, do whatever. Fine. You know what? Like it's almost an isolated crime. What I am talking about is authoritarianism and mitigating the the opportunity for whether now or in the future an authoritarian government to punish you for your opinions or whatever. It's kind of like the in the states where they have the Constitution and they have um, the Second Amendment, where it's like you have to you can the right to bear arms. It was built into that, not because like they're like we have the greatest, most freest government in the world, but in the future, whether it be 100 years from now or 500 years from now, God willing that we did a good job, that the citizen, if the government comes after them, can defend himself with arms. So it's the same thing with the digital ID. Whatever your whatever your intentions are, good intentions, or whatever the fuck you say, as an authoritarian central government that says I want access to your phone, you need a digital ID. Um, you know, at least you can mitigate that by not giving them access to your phone. It's a defensive posture, not an offensive posture with regards to the guns. But the point remains that if you say we are in Alberta and we have cards that have all the information that you claim you need, you just if you ask anybody, they're going to present that to you, whether they drive or not. Fuck you, off you go. You don't need to have a national fucking digital ID, and you can prosecute. Now you get
oh,
it.
I get it. It's you and your but they. Okay, now
We
I
can
get
move
it.
on. Those of you that aren't
We
Jimmy, like,
now I
understand
get
what I'm
it
saying.
because the thing is Alberta had one where they had all these things that they wanted your healthcare number, your size, your weight, your last size, like all that kind of stuff. Like just after COVID with the
Yeah, I've gained a lot of weight. I wish I had my old ID. Fucking, at least on paper, I'm skinnier.
uh, I wish I had my old ID too. I
10
didn't
years
have
from now, I'll be shorter too. I reckon.
I didn't have gray hair back then. Okay, so I want to get into something different. And
Good.
it's right up your wheelhouse, Mooney. I'm going to get into sports, but I'm not getting into the traditional Mooney sports. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I want to talk
No
about
F1. What?
all this WNBA stuff because
Yep.
like it's
Sure.
it's all over the place, and my biggest one is the one that Cunningham had, where
Sophie Cunningham, who plays for the
Sophie,
Indiana Fever. Yeah,
yeah,
along with Caitlin Clark, I think.
yes, they're both on the same team,
Two
and
straight
that's
women playing in the WNBA, which I don't know what the numbers are, but
but
you know,
that's not
also white,
that's
which is strike two.
and and then that huge hit from that what's her name
Uh, it's so unique. I've heard it. I've read articles.
It starts with a D.
Dejanay. It's like a
Uh,
Dijonais.
is it
Dijonais.
Dijonay
Yeah, it's
Carrington?
like the mustard with an extra syllable. Like it's a
Yeah,
black thing, but whatever.
but
Fairfax.
but that's not the point.
Yeah,
Is the fact that and now there's a lot of controversy over that one because I saw that like it was all over social media. She
yeah,
full out like it wasn't like a light foul. It was she aimed for her like it was a
yeah. Like,
clothesline.
the
It was a
pursuit of the
clothesline.
ball as a defensive player, as Sophie Cunningham went for a dunk. The pursuit of the
No, it
ball
wasn't even a
was
dunk. It was a layup, by the way.
okay, whatever. Yeah,
I know
you know
basketball better than you
you
do.
do you do
Right?
Fairfax. Like yeah, I'm not gonna yeah. Full disclaimer, dear audience, and even acquaintances like Bayrak. Uh, um, yeah, like I don't know basketball like Jimmy does. It might surprise you, but I'm not
But
really.
the thing is,
My
though,
point is though.
she
Hey, let
jumped
me
up
finish
and
though.
grabbed her by the head,
Yeah,
like it was a
I'm
clothesline.
saying if you're a ref, right? And I know enough about basketball to know this, like in soccer and all kinds of other sports, is like you go, okay, was your intent to pursue the ball? Like because that's the rock, right? Like you want that, or was your intent to injure the player? And the ref on the ref in the court, I think they video reviewed it too, like or whatever. But it was like, yeah, the ball's there, but I want to
It was
fucking literally clothesline her in the air and chuck her
her
to the court
hand.
floor,
Her
right?
hand was okay.
Yeah.
It was 3 feet above mine right now,
Hmm.
and she didn't come anywhere close to the top of her head. She went right for the neck. It was a clothesline. And it was the most blatant foul I've ever seen in my
In
years.
basketball, sure, yeah,
In my years, like I don't watch a lot of professional sports, but I played professional sports.
yeah, you did. It's
But
like me with my band, and I
yeah,
played
it's
under
just
professionals.
that.
I got paid to do that, so I'm fucking
That's
professional. Fuck you.
okay. Yeah, you've got it. Um,
Um, No, like the thing is that um there's two things, okay? And you left out the part where Dijonay
but
or whatever.
I never
Oh,
got.
sorry. Go
You
ahead, go
never
ahead.
let me go that far.
Yeah, yeah.
Because and then after she got ejected out of the game, she went backstage because she was mad that she got
She got kicked out of the game. She got
kicked out of the game.
I don't know how they do it with the women, but it was like a flagrant
It was a
foul or
flagrant
whatever.
foul,
Yeah, when it's kind
and
of like flagrant, then it's
she
like a
went to the
match
back
penalty.
and went like white privilege, like in a tweet or X or whatever you want to call it, Instagram, like on one of them, which by itself was wrong because in any sport, when you go for the frickin' neck, like if if Cunningham did it to her, she would have called it a hate crime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like
100%.
and
Like it's a lose. Listen, Jimmy. Oh, sorry. Go on. If you want to say more.
but the thing is, though, is it made it out like they were singling her out. That was like if anyone did it, if a Spanish girl hit her in the throat, for it, it would was that a hate crime too? Like, was it
Or a
white
white player,
privilege
like
or a white player?
Who
Like,
cares? Like it's the game.
like
It's
it
like
was
the
like
game
even
has rules and they're cut and
if I
dry.
jumped up and tried to block her shot and got her in the throat, I would have been ejected. That would have
Sure.
been a hell of a jump, though.
That's a video that would last forever on the
that
internet.
would go better than the other. But
It
I'm
is like a
just
bunch
saying,
of people
could
going,
you
"Is this
imagine he just
magic?
flying through the air?
Is this magic?"
Can he fly? But yeah, like the thing is, and then now with all this stuff, like so we have that, and then we have all these ex NBA guys that are challenging the WNBA
Yeah,
and going, hey,
there's two fellas. Yeah,
yeah, they're like, you know what? I'm trans. I want to uh go. What is it for tryouts?
no, I want to declare myself eligible for the WNBA draft, which I like. Basketball and hockey kind of run along the same timeline, so that would be like, fuck, like, yeah, next summer, like next June ish. And then that's fine. I think maybe that the timing. There's a lot of stuff that came up about that. Like, go on though. Like, yeah, you have guys, and
But the thing is,
I don't think that they're trans, but I
no,
like that
no,
they're making this thing.
they're just. I think they're doing it to prove a point
Yeah.
because also Cunningham was one of the ones that said, "I don't think that biological men should play in women's sports." Like if they are if they're transitioning over and they become women, um, that they should play women's sports. And I don't disagree with her because there's a physical difference between men and women, and but
I think
then
that
I think that's where some of the hate has come towards her, and also with the fact that her and Caitlin Clark are just amazing players. I've seen some of the 3-point shots and some of the stuff that they
the
do is
videos were like, and that and sorry, go on. I don't want to. I hate to cut you off because I have a few things to say about that. But
yeah, but the thing is I've always loved basketball, and seeing someone do a 3-point 2 feet outside the 3-point line,
oh yeah,
like it's
and like we're not talking about like at the top of the
no, yeah,
zone
not
or
at the top,
whatever,
not
at the
top of the
top of the
circle,
key, or what the key they call it, the key or
like the
whatever. But we're talking about outside the key, like on the far end, like that shot that
no,
Kawhi
it's
Leonard made.
like 2 feet outside the 3-point line, which
Yeah,
is
but
way outside the key.
not even with the backboard in sight. Like you have to hit it. You're not relying on the backboard. Like I'm talking the
No,
angle.
no, they swoosh that shit.
Yeah,
Like
what I'm
they
saying, like they don't have a backboard to rely on to give them a little percentage of fucking grace. Like I've seen Sophie Cunningham make those shots, and I'm like, that's athleticism, motherfucker. Like, yeah, and Caitlin Clark too,
and
obviously.
Caitlin Clark is freaking amazing too.
Mhm.
Like, but the thing is though is come on WNBA, like hits like that. And then but one thing I saw recently, and I'm not sure if it's true, seen it on
The
social,
coach, go on.
about the coach
Yep, go on.
going, I don't think that was an intentional foul. My ass, that wasn't an intentional foul.
It was that she like listen, and all
I've seen
like,
intentional fouls. I've
yeah,
done them.
she walked it back. She walked it back, but then she didn't. She's like, I love everybody, and I just want everything to be good. But if you don't like me, fuck you. I know I'm paraphrasing, but it was kind of like that. The thing is that she's got like the majority of the players in WNBA are black, but the Connor McDavid or the Gretzky or whoever is Caitlin Clark, and also like I don't want to insert sexuality into the argument or anything like that, but there's that too. Um, and then there's like yeah, so they come after those players, and I hate that. Like, and the thing about and you know what the weirdest, strangest, most fucked up thing about this whole thing is that like Caitlin Clark has never said anything bad about her teammates. Her like actually that's the last thing she'd ever do. She, like think of McDavid, but a chick basketball player. That's her. It's like your teammates or your coach supported or
It's a
whatever,
lady
and she's like,
basketball player.
and it's
Chick
like,
is kind of a little.
okay,
Come on.
lady, whatever, female. Um, and I'm like, if that was my team, whether I'm a girl or not, I would be the same thing. I'm like, I don't have anything to say about that. I don't. All I care about is the Edmonton Oilers or the Indiana Fever or whatever. Like I'm in a position of leadership on this team. I don't want to add more gas to the controversy fire. I want us to think about our next game tomorrow night in Cleveland or whatever the fuck, right? Like, and it's really shitty that these girls have to be subject to that. And actually, ironically, the WNBA is like profiting off this like a motherfuckers because it's like controversy. What I was saying about media, right? It's like you know, like if you support one side over the other, then you have controversy and it breeds more clicks and that's what WNBA is literally fucking doing right now.
But
And so
actually, to
like
be okay, no, keep going.
and then you have like um yeah the fellas declaring is like after the hit and whatever, but then like you get the coach walking it back and talking about this and it's like and then the WNBA like board of governors or whoever, like I know in hockey that's what we call it, but they convene and they're like, we don't know about these guys declaring. And it's like you're in a catch 22 of social justice versus like the irrefutable fucking laws of man. Like or men or women, I'm sorry. Anybody who was
Humankind,
gonna yeah,
humankind. Let's
the
stay.
irrefutable lies of humankind. Where it's like, yeah, guys that double or an XY or whatever, like then he's gonna be regardless of whether he wakes up one day or he's got a fantasy about women or whatever motivates these people that have been more than inculcated by like special interest groups in society to think that they're women. They don't need our support, they need treatment. But that's my opinion. But if you think that you're supporting them by suspending the rights of all of those fantastic like athletic super awesome like women that have somehow built a league like that people go watch and you want to bring this in and like denigrate the work that everyone who's done to build it, fuck out of here. Like you know, like it's and yeah, the board of governors met and they're like, yeah, we're gonna reconvene. Everyone's waiting. You know, it's like the Pope. Everyone's waiting for the like. So, are these guys eligible for the draft? And they're like, well, we're gonna catch 22. They didn't say this, but I'll paraphrase. They're like, we're gonna reconvene in a couple months. The paraphrase is we're going to catch 22 and we don't know how we're going to approach this politically, but in the meantime we're going to stretch it out and make money at the turnstiles, you know, like when the Indiana Fever plays somebody. And speaking of controversy, like or lack thereof, I saw a clip from last night where there was the Indiana Fever, the team for which I believe Caitlin Clark and I know for sure Sophie Cunningham plays for, because I don't follow the NBA because I like competitive sports. No offense, ladies.
And by the way, they're the
Like,
WNBA, not the
whatever.
NBA.
Yeah. They're playing Atlanta, and they did the anthem, and the
Okay,
lights
come
are down.
on. That there.
Hear me out. Hear
If
me out.
no,
Atlanta.
before you get into
Oh,
the,
you're gonna love this, Jimmy.
okay, I'm
Let
not
me
sure I'm
finish.
going to, but
They're in Atlanta, I think. They might have been in Indiana. I don't know, but the whole Indiana team is lined up, and they play the anthem, or someone sings it. I don't know. And the whole Atlanta team stays in their fucking locker room. Okay. And then they go across to the Indiana team, like all lined up, and the only person like that with the hand on the heart, was Sophie Cunningham. And I'm like, she hasn't said anything controversial. She hasn't wanted to spark controversy. She hasn't wanted to like be popular. She's like, I grew up right with good parents, and I don't think men should be in our league. I mean, like honestly, like 5 years ago, that is like everyone's like, yeah, no shit. Like, why else? Why would you say that? You know, now it's like, what the fuck? And like this whole victimhood, and and they I mean, we should do like a part two next week. Fuck, because the one part is I think we summarized it, but the other part, it makes me shake my head because it's like you and I have differences all the time, but it's like we also believe in a bunch of other stuff that's way more important. Like or like a microcosm of that is like you go, oh, like yesterday you were texting me, and I'm like, normally I get back to Jimmy right away, and then you're like, I was really busy and I had guys come and tearing up my basement and whatever on account of the flood, and and it's like you said to me, I was like, "What? I hoping you're all right," or because
No, I
not
said,
because
"Are
not
you good?"
because
Like, no,
yeah,
I'm like, "Are you good?" Because, to be honest, because usually if yeah, we can get into that part because the thing is usually if you text me, I get back to you within the next 10, 15 minutes,
and me
depending on
too, right? Like
and
usually,
usually.
right?
But
Yeah.
like 3, 4 hours later, I'm like, "Hey, dude, are you good? Like, are we good? Like, did I piss you
Mhm.
off or like,
Yeah,
and
never do
you've
the
done
"Are we good?"
and you've
Because like, I love you too much. That's not gonna happen.
no, no,
I'll
but
call you.
we've had situations like that where you've been mad at me or I've been mad at you,
Yeah,
and
but
we
I don't
kind of
do
ignore
passive
each
aggressive.
ish. But I
Anyway,
digress.
before you continue, my point is like we had like an episode like that, but at the end of the day, I reached out to Jimmy and I said like, "Oh, dude, like I'm so sorry. I I have like I run a business, so I have that, but also guys are walking in and out of my house doing my basement, and as opposed to like 99% of the time when you text me, call me, I call you right away. I was distracted by other things happening in my house that day, and you go, and this is my point because it's a metaphor for Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, and all that stuff. You said, "Sorry, dude, business and family are more important." So, metaphorically speaking, when the Atlanta, whatever they call themselves, and I only know Indiana as the Fever because of all the controversy, but
Yeah.
when they all line up for the anthem, they should all agree that, like, whether we agree or not on trans guys or like whether that tackle was hard or whether every time a player in the NBA, WNBA puts their elbow into Caitlin Clark's throat when she's on the ground. Whether we disagree about all that stuff or even gay or straight stuff, when they play the anthem, at least we have something in common, a common ground that we can use as a basis through which we can discuss our differences. They don't even fucking show up. And to me, I'm like, if you don't show up for the most basic argument, the tenets upon which that nation, and I'm not even American, was founded, then fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. You want controversy, you want or you need
Sorry,
things to be your
which
way.
team didn't show up for the national anthem?
Atlanta, whatever from the WNBA. I've
Uh,
never
like
watched a
like
game.
not
I never will.
but
Like I'm
uh
here for the culture war,
not
but
the
I won't
Fever.
give them money. Indiana's the Fever. But my point is that like I talked to a friend of mine who's like wondering whether we're okay or whatever. And it's like the minute I say family or like work, he says, you know what? Like that supersedes my needs as an individual. And that's the metaphor, like for what's not happening in the WNBA. Because no matter what any of you motherfuckers like are dealing with, at least you show up for the anthem and go, we declare common ground on that front. And if you don't show up, then you know what? Fuck you, in my opinion. So, any other ideas, Jimmy?
I don't know. We've been going really aggressive the whole
I got worked up
podcast.
about the WNBA because
No,
like, but
but I
these are like just
agree.
good
But
girls. Like, just want
but
to like
but
live
I
there.
agree. Like some of the stuff that was going on, and it was bothering me. I played the sport. I loved like
Yeah,
to be an athlete, and for me to say I was an athlete is is a light explanation of this kind of stuff that those women do, and they bust their butts every like
100%, and good for them building a league. I mean, how much virtue should we attach to that? Good for them, you
but
know?
seeing some of the stuff that some of the women in those games can do, and like 3 point shots from the half court. Come on. Like, and it's not even backboard, it's just straight swish. Like,
And you think about
that's
that league's
unheard of.
in its infancy. And like, I know with guys, like there's a lot of leagues where not MLB, but like NBA or NHL, where guys don't want to go to the All-Star game. They get like a weekend off or 4 days off. Um, but they go to support the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can see my kids for 4 days in a row because we do lots of road trips or whatever. But they're like, no, no, this is why I'm able to have a family, able to, like support my life and whatever. And it's like the game is more important than me. And then obviously the league too, because the league puts it on. Always about sponsors and shit. But when these girls like step out of that and they make it, now the league's going like, I don't know, I'm speculating, but the league's going, more viewers. At the end of the day, like if you want to have longevity, you have mutual respect, like in any athletic competition. Like we talk about the Olympics, or like when guys any turn NHL, when guys shake hands after, it's like we might have tried to kill each other, but at the end of the day, we fucking I love your battle. I love that, like, and at the end of the game, if Sophie Cunningham would have made that layup, I think is what you called it. It's like at the end of the game, that girl should have gone, "Hey, nice work." Because I know if I was that girl, I would have tried to stop her from the layup. I wouldn't have tried to kill her. I would have just gone, "Nice try," or like, "Man, I missed, but nice work."
But
Like
the
there's like a
impressive
mutual
the im-
respect. We're collectively building something, but then if you denigrate that by introducing race or
but
gender
she
or
she
sexual preference,
mentioned that when she got kicked out. She did that out of hate, but with the fact that she got clotheslined and still sunk the bucket.
yeah,
Come on, man. Like that is skill
and
unto
and and
itself.
didn't and didn't put gas in the fire after. Like if that was
Like,
me, I'm like, I'm gonna
oh,
fucking kill that person.
she kind of went after. I saw videos where she was mad. Like if someone would have clotheslined
The pointing thing was
that
like way
if someone
before
would have
that.
clotheslined me when I was going up for a basket, I would have hit them in the nuts with the basketball. I
No,
may
but
have
you know
done that
what?
once or
Like
twice
Sophie,
in my
after that
life.
tackle, like Sophie Cunningham didn't do anything. Like you saw the thing where she does the pointing and the whatnot,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
good for her too.
That was
But like
that
that
was
was like more like I'm actually identifying injustice or whatever. But like my point is that like I don't give a fuck what your race is, like what your sexuality is, like who you prefer in bed or whatever. But if you're trying to build a league, that's a group effort, motherfuckers. And it's like if you want to distract from that, from your selfish, like jealousy. I can't think of like that many more adjectives than like jealousy or like racial indoctrination or whatever. But I just know that there's like people like Caitlin Clark that and they get criticized for not saying enough. But I'm like, you're a team guy, a team person, and you're not saying because you have teammates that are whatever, and the media that is like waiting for you to be divisive. Caitlin Clark's never been divisive. Sophie Cunningham has never been divisive, in my opinion. We
she's
can argue.
divisive.
We it's divisive. We can argue about that next show.
Okay.
Um, she's never like She just said, "I don't think I want men to play against us." Like, I'm paraphrasing, but and the whole time, like the two of them, and I bet there's like a ton of other girls in the WNBA, but these are the ones we see on the socials or read about, govern themselves with class and decency and like, and I'm like, man, if everybody did that, despite the little bumps you get because you can't figure out what a woman is, holy shit, like your league would have so much more like traction if everybody in that league as a player, as a leader, as someone that hopefully their teammates look up to, like governs themselves the same way. Because like that's what hockey was built on, in my opinion.
Hockey is different than basketball, but
Yeah, but I'm talking locker rooms and whatnot, right?
the
Anyway,
thing
sorry,
is,
Jimmy. I that was a
the
long,
thing,
that was a diatribe. That wasn't even a
that
soliloquy. That was a diatribe. My apologies.
that was like a yeah, it was something. But
Cut that up and I'll put it on Twitter. I think it was pretty good. I
yeah,
meant that. I mean that.
good luck with that. But on a different note,
Do you want more? Like you were the one that wanted to talk about this. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or like on this topic?
no, the problem I had was just it's a game.
Yeah,
Like the thing is, yes, like the more games you win in professional sports, the more money you make. But the thing is, it's a game, and to bring in hate, to bring in um aggression like that,
yeah,
come on, like what how I look at the WNBA and what they've been doing over the last bit is why would I want my daughter, if I had one, um, to play in the sport if she has a differing opinion or if she's better than like whatever it is, and then she's gonna get the shit beat out of her on the court.
yeah.
Um,
You know what? Like if that
and
was my,
and then and then
sorry, go on.
get called out. Like, come on, like it's a game. Yes, there's competition, but it's got to be fair competition.
Yeah,
It can't be people being aggressive towards somebody else because sports. You know, one thing that you look at sports at the end of the day when you get awards, what is it? Sportsmanship awards.
oh
None of
yeah,
those jackasses that did any like the clothesline or like I've seen some of the stuff that Caitlin Clark or even Sophie Cunningham has done. S They do rough fouls too because
sure.
they get aggressive,
No,
but
it's
come on,
part of the game.
you're
Part
not
of the
trying to take
game, not
somebody's
like
head off.
actually a hatefully motivated like attack
But
on
it's
a
just
co-player, right?
but if like I saw one that Cunningham did where she grabbed the girl's head and just kind of pushed her out of the way,
Sure.
and she got a foul. She can go, okay, hate crime.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
Fairfax.
I'm just saying, it's a game. A lot of these people, it is their livelihood. But if you play fair, if you
You
play it
grow the
like it's a
game.
game, if
You're
you play it
espousing
like it's a
virtues,
game, if you bring people in,
right?
like the
By
aggression,
espousing virtues that we all possess,
but
instead of
the
dividing people by going like white privilege. Like fuck off.
yeah, like
Like
the aggression
fair
and
play,
yeah,
fair
no.
fucks. Like I mean, listen, when like I played like high levels of sports, like even low levels. Doesn't matter what level. But the idea being that like I was raised that if somebody beats you, you shake their hand. Like you might hate them or not even hate them, but you might want to come back and like remember that loss and come back next game and try harder. But at the end of the day, it's like
But you're
competition.
not going to come back to the
No,
next
it's not
game and beat the
personal.
shit out of them.
It's not
But
personal.
no,
It's like you use that. It's like life. I'm glad that I had that shitty experience. I'm gonna learn from it and not make the same mistake twice. And then with this, it's all about identity and
No,
I made my point. We get it. Like,
yeah.
or maybe you disagree with me. That's fine.
No, I actually don't disagree with you. I'm just
Yeah.
saying
Grow,
basketball used.
grow your game, WNBA.
But
And
what I was trying to say is back in the day when I played basketball, I freaking loved the game. Like when I was a kid. Sorry, I'm digressing. I'm telling a story.
no, go get
Um,
after it.
the thing is with sports and is the fact that like when I was a kid, I loved the game of basketball. It was my like I basketball and volleyball, which people looking at me were the least likely sports that I was going to play at the height of between at that time I was like just over 3 foot and like in growing.
Like what
My
time? Like
so
did you
so
guys play in
I
like
started
elementary or
I
junior high?
started
Or?
in junior high and but in high school and even volleyball I had a serve that nobody knew how to deal with because it was just skimmed the net and went down
Like a little bit of English, maybe.
but but it's just nobody knew where it was going except for me and
Oh, that's
but
awesome, man.
but then the rest of the stuff I like but I wasn't a blocker obviously I could block if they were trying to shoot it under the net but when it came to basketball I loved that sport and then I tried out every year didn't get the team I was either ball boy or equipment manager or a
Yeah, but you want
scorekeeper
to be part of the
but
game and you love the
but
game
I
and you
did
want
it
to be,
every
yeah.
year, all the way up to I think I quit doing it at about grade 11. And people are like, "Why would you do that?" Like you, it's not a sport for little people. And then I joined the little person
Hang
basketball
on
team,
though,
the
like
Canadian.
just so you know, like for the people listening, like you remember Spud Webb, right, Jimmy?
Oh
You,
yeah,
you must, yeah. Like what
yeah.
was he like? I think was he 6 foot? Like
He was a little over 5, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
he's 5 and
5.
change. And like if they have a Hall of Fame, I reckon he's in it. And he played guard, right, or center, or what? I don't know, like the positions, um, I'm you. I'm like I don't need to be the guy that
Five
dunks.
seven.
Yeah, he's five. Guy's 5'7". Like he's like barely a foot
And he
over
was a
you.
point. He was a point. He was a point guard.
Point guard. Yeah. Like so, when guys go basketball, it's like if you know the game, not everyone dunks. And I like being part of a team that supports me, and like I'm pursuing that.
But it's
Keep in
just I
keeping with
but
our
I
discussion. Go
but
on.
I loved the sport. And
Mhm.
then and everybody said, "Oh, it's you're not made for the sport." Really?
Right. Yeah.
You give your head a shake. I
Yeah.
played professional basketball, semi prof I worked with a little person basketball team called the Canadian Half Pints. I was paid for over 4 years to travel the country and play a comedy style basketball show, but I could do some trick shots that none of these NBA players could do.
I remember I saw the video. You look good, and you had
Like
there's some athleticism. There's a lot of athleticism attached to that.
I used to like you saw me do a cartwheel.
Yeah,
Imagine me doing a cartwheel as the ball is rolling and I grab the ball and
and
through
fucking
and
sinking.
finish a layup.
Yeah,
That's the kind of stuff that I used to do. And when people said like why are you trying out for basketball? I loved the game. But part of my love of the game was you can't do it. I'm like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
show
yeah.
you.
You
Um,
were motivated by people saying
but
no.
it was like I worked on that basketball team for over 4 years,
I know you did.
and and I did things I like. Even my parents are like, "We did not see that coming." You playing basketball and getting paid to play basketball
Yeah,
for 4 years. And I traveled the country. I went into the US.
sure.
I went
You
to
got the per
Iceland
diems. Yeah,
and did all kinds of stuff. I got to do things that people that I grew up with in Tabor who have never left there um
yeah.
never saw coming. And
Now,
that's what sports means. Sports means that it's something that you strive to do. And if you're a hater, if you try to hold someone back because you don't like their views, or if you don't like the fact that they're a tall blonde, bite me.
yeah, I agree 100%. And
Like
like, I think what you're saying is like, it wasn't just the like you traveled a lot, you played a lot, but you developed a level of cohesion with a group of fellas, and you were dedicated to a goal, and you pursued it,
and
and
we
and
played a game that we liked
but
to play.
you cared about something that was bigger than you yourselves, right?
Yes.
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
And this is the rut, in my opinion, like to transfer it back to what we were talking about with the WNBA, is like you're going to care more about race or gender or
Or a
sexual
story.
identity
Like
or
like
whatever, and like more than building that which my friend, one of my best friends, I'm sorry, Jimmy, cat's out of the bag, like says that enriched their lives, and you're gonna go, yeah, like I hate that she's white, or I hate that they don't support the LGBTQ XYZ, like name your letter community. It's like, no, man, there's shit that's way bigger than either of us. Whether
but
you're
the
a little
thing is
fella
though is
trying
you didn't
to
say
play
that they didn't
basketball, and
support it. They just didn't want men playing on the WNBA. Like genetic men playing
yeah,
on the
yeah,
WNBA.
whatever you can say, support. It's the same point. And I'm like how much you got out of that thing, because you wouldn't have got jack out of that if all you guys are like, like uh being bitches, or sorry, trying to regulate my language, being jerks to each other in the locker room, right?
Oh,
Or
we
like
weren't
not
always
working.
nice to each other.
No, of course not. But again, going back to what I said earlier, um, this thing is bigger than whatever you and I have between us, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. And so it's like us being part of this team and promoting what we're promoting, and the bigger picture is bigger than me being getting worked up about, like what you did to me personally, or my identity, or my victimhood. And I think victimhood is an important word to use in this perspective, and saying like we're part of something bigger than this, and I'm going to let this pass, or I'm going to negotiate my differences with you with respect, in the collective interest, the collective interest of what, you know we share,
But
going
I got
back.
a different way of looking at it, and
Good, say it.
then we're gonna end.
Yeah,
The thing is if you love the sport, play the sport, and keep it the sport. Keep all the bullshit out.
yeah,
Is all I'm saying. Is
okay,
it's not about the controversy. It's not about who does what. Play the sport. If you love basketball, play it. And if someone loves playing basketball, let them play it. Other than that, the rest is garbage. Like
100%. Let me just finish on that. Instead of pursuing victimhood or differences, let's pursue what we have in common, and use that as like a basis from which we can collectively work to find more common ground, right?
or just play the damn game. But
See
this
you on
is
the
the
court
bald and
tomorrow,
short of it.
motherfucker.
But this is the bald and short of it podcast. I am James P. White.
Love you,
That
Jimmy.
is Chris Mooney. We'll see you next time.